Here I am. You guys, I just wanted to go over a dream with you guys. The Lord told me to break down kingdom marriages for whoever's new to my channel. A kingdom marriage is a marriage that the Lord puts together for certain people. So, not everybody is called to a kingdom marriage. And I just want to remind you guys that an example of it, I'm going to just use Adam and Eve because that's the first thing that came to mind. God made Adam for Eve, uh, vice versa. You guys, anything that God does, the enemy copies, okay? Anything God does, the enemy copies. So I talked about like laying of hands and how they do that in the demonic church and stuff like that, right? So I had a dream the other night, which was a couple days ago. Hey, Matilda. I had a dream the other night, and it was a kingdom marriage. And it was a beautiful ceremony. The people were there, I think, from both families supporting it. And I was the lady getting married, right? For whoever this is for, I was the lady getting married. And I felt in my spirit that I was not supposed to marry the counterfeit option that was in front of me. This man clearly had more money. The gathering was put together probably through family or whatever. Ow, you're scratching me, Heaven. But it was put together. I even got a glimpse of the ring. The ring was really nice. And it was like square shaped. It was real cute. But, anyways, so in this ceremony, I could have went through with it, right? And I know this is for someone. I could have went through with it, but I knew it wasn't my husband. So there's going to be options um, presented to you, and it's completely up to you whether you should take it or not. Which the Lord is just sending me to send this confirmation. Do not accept any counterfeit um, options that are presenting itself. When you get closer and closer to your kingdom marriage, the enemy is going to come in with counterfeits. And some of them are going to look good. I kid you not. When I first started standing for this, I was going to church and there was prophets coming out of nowhere, male prophets coming out of nowhere. I wasn't interested at all, but the Lord will let you be tested. He's not going to give you a test that you cannot pass, you guys. Even if you fail it the first time, He gave it to you because you can pass it. And it always is going to build character. But with that being said, you guys don't fall for the counterfeits coming in. They're coming in hot and ready like a Little Caesar's pizza, like I be saying. But yeah, I was like, goodness gracious. In the end of the dream, and I could tell like the people that are around were definitely not sent. And I don't know if you guys had just scrolled on the YouTube algorithm and you see the tarot card readers and they're using the same phrase, kingdom marriage. The enemy has marriages that he tries to put together because he just loves to copy God because he's not original at all. Um, but I did not, in the dream, I did not go and marry the counterfeit. I was like, even though my spouse doesn't have as much as the counterfeit had and whatnot, an enemy would tempt you with materialistic stuff. You know, a lot of people were born into the sin cycle, not sin cycle, the generational cycle of poverty and stuff like that. So you look at it, oh, this person has money, whatever. What you want is a man that is rich in spirit. The things that go on in the spiritual realm manifest in the physical. So if you have a man that's rich in spirit, then he has the capability of getting that in the physical. But the Lord was really speaking to me about that dream, the whole counterfeit situation that the enemy is trying to put kingdom marriages together, trying to get people to back out, trying to get people to quit standing, trying to get people to lose hope. And we have to keep in mind that I think prophetic diary was talking about the four levels of faith, right? And you want to get to the level of knowing that you know without a doubt, and not so much of having to see signs all the time, asking the Lord for signs. I mean, that's fine, but you just want to know that you know, and to keep standing. In this hour, we need to feed our faith, whatever that looks like to you. Okay, make sure you are feeding your faith. Um, And then we can't just have faith, we need to have hope along with that faith to really lock that promise in. God, if you are burnt out, because I know some people, a lot of people are burnt out on these words. If you are burnt out, God will always speak to you. He will let you know, like, honey, we got to talk about this right now. He's not going to let your promise pass you. And people don't realize how close they are. Like the Lord is reminding me of a vision He gave me of like a finish line, and someone's foot is like right there at the finish line. So it's like you're standing in front of it. You're literally standing in front of it, and God is running the show, you guys. So just keep that in mind when you feel like, oh, I need to stop, I need to give up, or the enemy will tell you that you're idolizing the promise, and the whole time the Lord is literally reminding you that He still has that thing for you. He still has that promise for you. So don't let the enemy come in with confusion. I always say this: if he has your mental, then he has everything else. Spiritual warfare is not so much of a physical thing, it's a mind thing. But I encourage you guys to cancel out the enemy's intentions and his assignments against you and your spouse mentally. Break and bind all those demons and just command them to stop. Command them to stop with the mental attacks. Take away their abilities to communicate with you, to discourage you. Ooh, Holy Spirit, to discourage you. And just cancel every assignment. Don't return to sender or whatever. Send it to hell and it came from hell. I mean, let's try to make that make sense. But cancel it, you guys. Just take away their abilities. You guys have authority. Don't forget that you have authority through Jesus. He left His authority with us. Um, but yeah, and when we are weak, the Lord is so very strong. When we just rest at His feet. In this hour, you can't go wrong with just getting on your knees and seeking the Lord's face. Um, and the physical is not aligning with what's going on in the spirit, and it's really a test, you guys. The enemy is testing you, but the Lord is allowing him so you grow in character and in faith. And y'all, show up and show out. Okay, show up and show out. These spouses are around the corner. But yeah, I love you guys. Until next time, kings and queens, like, share, subscribe, turn on that notification bell. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. And if God is for you, nobody could be against you. Period.